Looking, and he has a man out there. Can't make it, and that is Gary Martin. Receiving, but there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. Just over the outstretched fingertips of Gary Martin, sophomore from Washington, D.C., came into the game with 15 receptions, 335 yards, as Ray Courier was covering. And it's against Winston-Salem, so the penalties all have been against the Rams in this ball game so far. As you look at George Moody on the sideline in his 8th year with a 39-40-2 record, but since 1986 he has been 10-6. He's done a great job. In fact, they were threatening to fire him just a couple of years ago. He turned the program around. They tied for the Northern Division a year ago, and they're in the championship game this year.
Good for him. There's nothing more rewarding to hear their success story.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when the job is on the line.
3:15 left here, first quarter.
Good for you, Kate.
Here's what's it? Get it right. Barnes. I know it was a B there. Barnes on the carry. Robert Barnes lean back.
Seem as though
more Hampton, Virginia.
Seem as though the place.
Barnes and Hamilton are behind the quarterback Elliott. And the wing is Cooper. Cooper goes in motion. It goes to Hamilton straight ahead. A pickup of 1. That's about it. Jeff Kelly on the stop, along with Cornell Wallace. There's the penalties in this ball game. Virginia State has been penalized 1 time. Winston-Salem 3.
2 of those times were no.
Yes, they were big ones.
Again, back in scoring territory. All just outside the 20-yard line.
2nd and 9.
For Winston-Salem.
Back to pass again is Elliott. Looking for a receiver who was knocked down, and now he takes off and runs. Down to the 10-yard line and picks up a first down. And he falls out on the track out there. This stadium is also used for midget car racing. And he was out there on one of those slip grease spots, I believe. You don't come out on the track, and I don't come on the grass.
Outside containment somewhat broke down. He gets outside the outstretched arms of one of the linebackers there, number 46, in the person of Rudy Wilson. Get the first down yardage. Good coverage downfield by the secondary. There you go. Slips right in the oil spot. Good all they're using in these mobile cars.
Barnes coming to this side. Steps it up. Down inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line where Cornell Wallace makes the stop. Wallace, a 5'8" junior from New Bern, North Carolina. He has 5 interceptions to his credit this year.
5 interceptions and 4 blocks. 4 block punts. Cornell?
Yeah.
And roughing the penalty also.
Roughing the kicker.
As Barnes, who just made that last run, the run was somewhat aided by the right guard, who threw a Walker Florence, who threw a nice block. 3 yards on the carry, called it 2nd and 7.
The 8-yard line. That's Cooper in motion. We have 2 men in motion. Cooper went in motion, and so did James Harrison.
There's the marker on the play.
Not Canadian football, man.
Yep. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure.
2nd and 12.
Move it back. We're down to 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play.
Illegal procedure charged against the Trojans.
George Moody. They tied Hampton last year for the Northern Division title. Last game of the season in 87.
Ball now spotted on the 14-yard line. We're 2nd and 12 for the Trojans.
2nd down and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. Barnes is on the wing to the left. Cooper trying to turn the corner. Bounces off one man. That was Barley. He bounced off of. And he struggled for a couple. down to about the 13-yard line. Finally, Eichert made the stop, the sophomore out of Hickory, North Carolina.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 12 situation.
Still 3rd and 12. And that's going to be the end of the first. Nope. It's not the end of the quarter. It's a timeout. There's 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter, but Winston-Salem spends one of its timeouts here in the first half, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Odious, contemptible, deplorable. I'm speaking of offending in the personal grooming arena. Something I would, of course, consider quite beyond the pale. So I give you Right-Guard Sport Stick, antiperspirant and deodorant. When one needs to seek maximum protection and a fresh scent, one should grab oneself one of these Right-Guard Sport Sticks, because one would hate to be considered malodorous by one's chums. Now, wouldn't one? Right-Guard Sport Sticks from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Are you over 30 and single?
Are you looking for love or companionship?
Call the new Romance Hotline and listen to recorded messages from exciting and sincere singles.
Dial 1-900-909-8000.
Call anytime, 24 hours, and hear recordings of single people looking for romance.
On the Romance Hotline.
For adults over 30 only, please.
Call 1-900-909-8000.
Happiness is just a phone call away.
And when you call, remember, it's your little secret.
BET presents Black Olympic Memories, brought to you by the U.S. Army, the place to be all you can be.
She's only the 3rd American woman after Wilma Rudolph and Wyoming Attias to win 3 Olympic gold medals in track and field. During the 1984 Olympics, Valerie Briscoe set American records in the 200 and 400 meters. She also ran the 3rd leg of the gold medal winning 4x400 meter relay team.
In the Army, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Hey, where did you learn about computers?
In the Army.
You were in the Army, too?
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and you can earn over $25,000 for college.
What you do in the Army?
Air Force.
You used to jump out of airplanes?
3rd and 12 with 6 seconds left in the quarter, facing Virginia State right now. Barnes goes in motion, and back to Cooper. Cooper cuts it up, spins close to the 5-yard line, stopped at the 6. And the field goal unit will come on probably for the Trojans of Virginia State. They lead 6-0 as the first quarter comes to an end. And when we come back, more than likely, we'll see Robert Okonkwo come on to kick it. We'll be back. Love is in the air on the next Charlie and Company.
Mom, Dad, there will never be another man in my life. I'm in love.
And guess who the lucky man is?
That was Lauren on the phone.
What she want?
She wants me to go to a school dance, and she wants to be the mother of my children.
Can Charlie handle it? Find out on the next Charlie and Company at 8 p.m. Eastern. Play of the second quarter just about to get underway, and Mr. Okonkwo is not sure where he wants to spot the ball. A 24-yard field goal attempt or a 25, but it'll come from the 24. He is 6 of 9 in field goals this year, and he's pretty good from this range. 1 for 2. Kick is up. Long enough, and it is good. So, it's a 9-0 ball game as Okonkwo kicks his 7th field goal of the year. Quite a tennis player. Quite a kicker. First year, 9-0, our score.
What's the hottest gift for men this year?
The minute I saw it, it was like, this is perfect for Steve. My brother's gonna freak when he sees I got it for him.
It's a hilarious video cassette. The very best of the football folly. 44 minutes of some of the all-time craziest football bloopers ever.
He can watch that kind of stuff over and over again. The bloopers, the fumbles, he really likes it.
And best of all, you get it free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Call their toll-free Christmas hotline now and get 55 issues of SI at a low Christmas sale price. Over 55% off the cover price.
Easiest Christmas shopping I've ever done.
Your gift includes exclusive previews and exciting issues, like the 25th anniversary swimsuit issue.
I'd love to get SI this Christmas, and I hope my girlfriend Kelly is watching. It's the perfect gift for any man.
There's even a card for Under the Tree, all for just 99 cents per issue. You won't be billed till next year, and get the videotape free. Call 1-800-621-3800.
You won't see this, Willie. Oh, honey, Merry Christmas.
Charlie Neal and Lem Barney here at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where the Trojans of Virginia State have something to shout about. 9-0, they lead Winston-Salem as a Conquo. The very happy young man.
Yes, number one tennis player here also.
24-yard field goal. Look at the return man. That is Troy Suggs, a sophomore out of Brattleboro, North Carolina. Scoring drive, 15 plays, 56 yards. They used up 9 minutes and 26 seconds of the clock, and again were aided by a roughing the kicker penalty. Against Winston-Salem. Conquo to kick it off. Suggs will field it at the 12. 20. Out across the 30 to the 32-yard line goes Troy Suggs, who's been averaging 18.9 yards per kickoff return, ranked number 5 in the CIAA in that department. That's the time of possession in the ball game so far. Winston-Salem has had the ball only 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Clarence Woods on the stop defensively that time. So Winston-Salem gets the ball for the third time today, starting at their own 32-yard line. They fumbled the last time they had the ball. This time it's Beverly on the carry. Beverly gets it to the 36-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. We're in the second quarter. 14:32 is the time remaining in the first half of play. Rodney Warren on the stop defensively. 2nd down. Back to pass. Kenny Jones slings it out to Broderick Graves. He is knocked down by Anthony Burfoot, along with Rodney Warren, the linebacker.
That's the way it should be played defensively. A little swing pass out in the flats to Cooper. To Graves, Broderick Graves coming up to make the stop respectively. Rodney Warren along with Anthony Burfoot. Fine picture perfect tackle. Gain of about 2 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 5.
Again, Kenny Jones wants to go to the air. Throws, has it complete to Graves, but nothing doing. As the linebacker, Rodney Nettles made the stop. Team's leading tackle. And it'll bring up a 4th down for the Rams of Winston-Salem from their own 38-yard line.
Both teams defensively as well as offensively are somewhat in a parity. Fine outstanding defensive personnel into some great offensive personnel.
Dave Hamlin with the punt. It can be returned. Not much running room, though, on the return for Gary Martin, who's averaging 10.6 yards per punt return. On the stop was Carly Williams, reserve tight end, 33-yard punt that time. So it is 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line for Virginia State, leading 9-0. This is the worst field position they've started at today. They started at their own 43, and at their own 41, and now they're starting at their own 25. But they lead 9-0.
They got points out of each drive, however.
They held the ball. Been aided by Capone. Elliott by Puryear. And Puryear back to the 30-yard line. For Puryear, his third interception of the year. He was the CIAA Player of the Week defensive against Bowie. He came up with 8 tackles, 2 breakups, a fumble recovery, and an interception.
Here's Elliott, an ill-advised pass. The intended receiver, the primary, was quite well covered. He just threw it up in the air, as you mentioned. Puryear comes up with a fine interception. Good turnover for Winston-Salem. Tackle finally made by number 72, Brown, along with Anthony Hamilton. First and 10, Charlie.
And Gregory gets the ball that time. So Winston-Salem finally has something to get their horns up about. Moran. He had a man there. That is the quarterback for Virginia State, Rudy Elliott, but he just threw into the coverage. And Puryear came up with it. Third interception of the year. Graves back to the 25-yard line and nothing doing. Defense has been tough for Virginia State. Rodney Warren. Virginia State came into the game as the top-ranked team in the CIAA against the run. They've allowed only 75 yards a game rushing against them coming into today's ball game. And they were second in total defense. Winston-Salem, meanwhile, led the CIAA in rushing offense, averaging 246 yards a game. Nothing doing that time for Kenny Jones as Nasser Staples, the senior out of Fieldale, Virginia, came up to make the stop. He also has 20 sacks coming into the game, which is a school record.
You count this as another sack because the quarterback rolls out. He tries to get outside of Staples. Staples saying no can do. Wrapped those large arms around him, and he waited help from number 58.
Mike Sanders.
Sanders coming over from this defensive
Now
tackle.
Virginia State has called a timeout with 11:04 left here in the second quarter. It's 9-0 Virginia State. It's CIAA championship here on BET.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got a leak here, somewhere in the wall. I just hope I can get to it before it gets too bad.
At times like this, now you can choose this. New Maximum Strength Pepto-Bismol. Now there's twice the medicine, twice the Pepto.
Miss Lee! Press on nails for teens. Oh, if that's what you mean. Miss Lee, press on nails. Color. Wow. Innocent. Oh, yeah? Just peachy. Cheese. Bubblegum. Awesome. Fresh grapes. Neat.
Now it's Miss Lee press-on nails, made for smaller hands. Easy to put on as regularly press-on nails and with 4 extra nails. 24 in all for a more perfectly beautiful fit.
Fun at your fingertips. Miss Lee press-on nails. Press on.
David Hamlin to punt it on 4th down for Winston-Salem. Gary Martin is the return man, but he won't get a chance to run this one as it goes out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Let's see exactly where they mark it, maybe the 12. 10:54 left here in the second quarter. We're at Bowman Gray Stadium, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Pretty good crowd on hand for the CIAA championship game. The Rams of Winston-Salem State University. Going back over the years, Winston-Salem appeared in 1971 and lost to Elizabeth City in the CIAA championship game. And again, in 1983, they lost to Virginia Union. They lost to Norfolk State in 84, to Hampton in 85, to Virginia Union in 86, and they won over Hampton a year ago. So their 7th appearance in the championship game. Flag is down as Virginia State has the ball offensively.
Look like in the vicinity of holding, offensive line, perhaps. Holding goes against.
Only the second penalty against Virginia State.
One turnover nearly by his pass.
Make that the third.
Third penalty, delivered by his pass for a turnover. Last series, Elliott had the ball, tried to force one in.
That is the call. Holding charge against the Trojans. The ball now spotted on the 5-yard line.
Relatively fine field position. Couldn't get anything going.
Holding penalty, half the distance to the goal line. It'll be 1st and 15 now with 10:48 remaining in the second quarter.
Their worst field position by far.
On the option, Elliott tries to turn the corner, still on his feet, and runs out of bounds. Run out of bounds by Barley.
On the keeper.
Jody Elliott, a gamely young man, senior out of Norfolk, Virginia. 4th in the CIAA in passing and total offense.
There's the fake in the line to number 22, Anthony Hamilton. Keeps it outside. Tell you what, I'd have tossed it to Cooper.
Let him take some of the heat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Their quarterback has been sacked only 19 times this year. This time it's Hamilton dodging people. But he's really laid on there at the 13-yard line, and a flag comes out late.
Maybe an unnecessary hit against number 5 coming up.
Somebody gave him the business.
Anthony McCord.
There's Hamilton.
Maybe a personal foul they'll tack on.
Maybe face mask. It's face mask. That's what it is. A face mask penalty.
Given by the official, grasping the face mask, charged against the Rams.
Get a chance to see if we can see who the guilty culprit was. There it is. One of the linemen. One of the linemen's got that hand right in there now.
And it'll be a first down after the penalty. 10:18 left here. Second quarter. 9-0. Virginia State on top.
Winston-Salem is still being plagued by these large flagrant penalties. 15-yarders. Keeping the drive alive as well as advancing the ball upfield. For the Trojans of Virginia State University. 1st and 10.
At the 28-yard line. And they run the ball inside with Barnes, and Les Barley made the stop defensively.
See why he's the 3rd leading tackler in the conference play. You get a chance to see him playing defense on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Here's the ball handed off. Boom. Almost a simultaneous hit. Les Barley on the stop. Yeah.
Here is Les Barley out of Java, Virginia. And they lost the yard on the play, so maybe 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
See him look to take it up top this time.
Barnes in motion. Takes the Barnes. Hamilton or Cooper, is it? He's in the open field. It's Cooper. And Cooper runs out of bounds inside the 30 at the 28-yard line.
Looks like he may have pulled a muscle.
He gave up there.
Looks like he may have pulled a muscle.
But it's a big run.
It's a chilly day. It's got to be warm. Roderick Graves came into the contest leading Winston-Salem State in total yardage, 953 yards, scoring a total of 14 touchdowns. Misdirection. Fine play. He's wide open. Let's see if you can see him pull here.
Right there. He's starting to pull. There it is. 42-yard run, though. We're going to get illegal procedure, though, against the Trojans of Virginia State. James Harrison, who's in the lineup now, replacing Clifton Cooper. It was either holding, it may have been holding also, but I thought it might have been illegal procedure because I saw the man looked like he bellied toward the line of scrimmage. It is illegal procedure. He bellied toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. The ball being snapped, right. Warming up on the sideline as you look at the attending to Clifton Cooper, number 32.
Looked like he pulled it.
Yep, left leg. Okonkwo also warming up to maybe try a field goal over there.
That's the situation of today's temperature to stay warm on the sideline as well as when you're in the game.
Charlie Bartlett. There's Okonkwo warming up. is at the 34-yard line. They started this drive at their own 11. And remember, the big run, a 42-yarder by Cooper. Right now, Dean Harrison, Jr. out of Petersburg, Virginia's in at that other wingback spot. Quick pass, and he was trying to hit Barnes coming out of the backfield, but he threw it behind him. And there was a little miscommunication because now they're talking to each other.
Observe the defense playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Well, miscommunications there. Barnes, intended receiver, ball thrown a bit behind him. He had no chance at it. Bring up a second down, about 15, 16 yards to go.
Gary Martin goes to the far side. Barnes is on the wing on this side. Harrison on the wing to the far side. And it's Barnes in motion. And Harrison is smothered by big number 67, Jeff Kelly. First team all-conference, a senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Look at number 67 go to work here. He almost took that ball away from the quarterback.
Looked like the defense might have some headsets in their helmets. Kelly's playing where it should be played on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Here he is. No one blocked him. He had a chance to tackle both number 4 Harrison as well as Elliott, the quarterback.
If he'd have been really alert, he'd have had the handoff and might have gone 60 yards for a touchdown.
For the line of green, huh?
That's right, 295.
Lumber green. Bad pass.
240, actually, Kelly is. So it'll bring up a fourth down, and it's out of field goal range, and so that'll bring on Wilton Anderson to do the punting. As Phillips got his hand in the face of the quarterback to break up the screen. Watch number 93.
Nose guard Phillips, here he is, crushing in. Just a bad pass there by Elliott. Again, pressure was on him by Phillips, the nose guard. Bring up a fourth down. Fourth down and 22 punting situation.
6th leading punter in the CIAA. Let's see if he gets this one off without being rough. They let him go that time. He gets off a good one, too. Fair catch called for, dove and made by Keith Carnes at the 10-yard line. 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Second quarter, 9-0 our score. We'll be back to Winston-Salem in just a moment.
Just when you thought you knew everything about trucks, Toyota changes all the rules. Introducing the all-new Toyota trucks, redesigned for '89. More V6 4x4 power, all-new optional on-the-move four-wheel demand. And now, an available V6 4x2 for extra power when you need it. More inner space and comfort, and a new look that says one thing, Toyota quality. Toyota! Who could ask for anything more?
After 7 seasons of Video Soul, we're still coming on strong. Come celebrate the 8th season of Video Soul, weeknights at 9 Eastern, only on BET.
As you look at the quarterback, Kenny Jones, let's check a look at the final standings in the Northern Division of the CIAA. This is how it ended up. Virginia State, and I'll tell you that Virginia Union squad is probably playing the best ball of any team in the CIAA right now. And followed by Hampton, Norfolk State, and Elizabeth City. The Southern Division, Winston-Salem, of course, is here. North Carolina Central, by virtue of a tie, finished ahead of Bowie State because they tied Bowie. Johnson C. Smith, Livingstone, and Fayetteville State. That's the way the regular season ended up. Tight race. Yes, it was. Fayetteville State did not win a game this year. They were 0-7. Now, flag is down as Graves got the call. Broderick Graves. He missed a couple of games this year because of injury and still managed to run for 953 yards.
Graves could have had a 1,000-yard season.
Led the conference in all-purpose running. Led the conference in yards per game rushing. Was not the leading rusher in the conference as there's a holding penalty in terms of total yards. There was one player that had over 1,000 yards rushing this year in the conference. And that was Tim Dudley of Hampton University, who rushed for 1,004 yards, but he averaged 100 yards per game, while Broderick Graves averaged 105 yards per game.
We're scrambling here.
Second, to make it 1st and 15 after the holding call. Murder at the 5. Rodney Warren doing a great job, senior out of Manassas, Virginia.
Here's how it looks and here's how it feels. Here's the play. Little motion here by Thigpen, number 5. Ball handed off to Graves, and boom. Final cast. Pop, pop. Almost like stereo in your helmet.
It is 2nd and 15, the ball at the 5. They have to get to the 20 for a 1st down. They bring Keith Torrance way out to the right side. Thigpen is in the slot to the right. Coming out of pro formation, passing down. Looking to throw out of the end zone. Caught! Shy of a 1st down, though, by Keith Torrance at the 18-yard line. But it's short of a 1st down. It is 3rd down and about 1.
Get a chance to see Keith Jones. Waited for the last moment. So Terrence cleared linebackers and curled underneath the coverage. There it is. Fine throw, fine catch again. About 1.5 yards shy to 2 yards of the 1st down marker.
New quarterback in the lineup, Keith James, a better passer than Kenny Jones right now. And they go to the air with him. He can throw it. And he has it complete. And a 1st down close to the 30-yard line. And the man on the reception for Winston-Salem State University, Dwayne James, a junior out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
Tough situation for Keith James to come in. However, short yardage, but to come in and throw a pass and throw a foul right on the money to Keith James, it's a lot to ask of a quarterback just coming into the game. He stays in 1st and 10.
And he can throw it. And here's Graves. They loosen up that defense a little bit with his passing ability. And Graves gets some running room out to the 36-yard line. A gain of about 6 on the play. Make it 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Leading scorer in the CIAA. We talked about him on the offset of the telecast. Came into the ball game having 953 yards and last on the season in 88, scoring 14 touchdowns. Leading scorer. There he is. Robert Graves, only a sophomore. You got the problem, Crawford.
And they go back inside. This time to McCoy, and again, Rodney Warren. I think he's gonna get all the airtime on defense, isn't he, today?
He's leading Canada for MVP right now.
I tell you, we call his name a lot. He's deserved it so far.
Indeed he has. Tough linebacker.
And he's one of those guys who did not make the All-CIAA team who says, I'll show you why I should have.
He's taking revenge out today. Out of heat.
Here's the quarterback. Keith James sets up, incomplete, throws behind the intended receiver. He was being pressured by big number 93, Rodney McCoy, the intended receiver. Nasser Staples was the man applying the pressure to the quarterback. So to bring up a 4th down situation, they'll be punting from their own 38-yard line. David Hamlin punts it away.
Returnable
by Gary Martin. And out of bounds in front of the Winston-Salem bench at about the 33-yard line, a 37-yard punt. Don't forget, halftime showtime. Coming up, we'll be seeing the band from both Virginia State and Winston-Salem, plus the All-CIAA band put together for you here for this one. And directors of the CIAA. At the 33-yard line is where Virginia State will go to work. 1st down and 10. Their first 2 possessions ended in a touchdown and a field goal. Then they threw an interception and they had to punt. So this is their 5th possession of the day. 4:44 left in the first half of play. 9-0, Virginia State leading. Rudy Elliott hands off on a counter swing. Inside. And that was Cooper by Roy Phillips made the stop defensively for Winston-Salem, along with Les Barley, number 43. Gain of about 1. Well, he went back in. We saw him pull up after that long run.
46-yarder, 42-yarder.
There's the time remaining in the first half. Charlie Mueller, Lynn Barney here. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, CIAA championship. Trying to turn the corner, Harrison. And Harrison still on his feet. Whoa, sandwich. David Graves. No relation to the running back. Broderick, number 84, made the stop.
Iker teaming up with Graves on the stop here. Ball handed off to number 4, Harrison. Keeps his knees churning, shoulders parallel the line of scrimmage, meet opposition there, continuing the bounce and coming up and pulverizing him. David Graves on the stop. Third down, about 7.
At the 35-yard line, with 3:30 remaining, second quarter. Harrison again, and again Graves makes the stop with a host of red jerseys. We're going to be going back to our studios in Alexandria. George Johnson standing by to tell us what he has coming up.
Coming up at the half, Grambling State won their 5th straight on Thursday night. We'll show you highlights of that ball game. North Carolina Central's Robert Clark is making headlines in the NFL. We'll let you meet him. And of course, plenty of scores and other highlights on our Toyota Sportsline report at halftime. Now back.
It is 9-0. And there's the punter, Wilton Anderson. It's off a pretty good one. Fair catch, call for, and made at the 31-yard line by Bryant Smith. Reserve split in.
6'2", 215 returning punt. Big fella.
So it'll be first down and 10 at the 31-yard line for Winston-Salem. 6 possessions for them. Their drives have ended in a punt, a fumble, and 3 punts. Winston-Salem on offense. First down and 10. Keith James still in at quarterback. Senior out of Greensboro, North Carolina. 50% passing completions this year. 7 of 14. He's only thrown 14 coming into the game. Hasn't had a lot of playing time, but better to passes. Here's Graves into the open field and down for first down. A gain of about 16-17 on the run to the 47-yard line before Anthony Burfoot and Eddie Good combined to make the stop.
He pick up a nice block here by number 15, Thigpen, as he bursts through a gaping hole there. Fine job at the point of attack by the offensive linemen. Dillard, Milton, Spencer, Sugg did a great job of opening up a nice hole, first and 10 yardage. Ball at the 44-yard line.
Straight ahead again and running is McCoy. And McCoy gains about 9 on the play.
I said 44, make that the 46-yard line.
Rodney McCoy. Don't forget at halftime, we'll be going back to our Alexandria, Virginia studios for Toyota Sportsline. George Johnson is standing by to update you on some other games happening around the nation today in black colleges. Central State's playing Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Savannah State and Albany State, Morgan and Howard, Alabama State and Mississippi Valley. It's second down and 1 here. Negotiating for some yardage was Ronald Beverly, the freshman out of Lexington, North Carolina, 4th leading rusher in the conference, and he just about got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Rodney Nettles defensively, and Winston-Salem with a 3rd and 1 facing them decides to use their second timeout of the first half. And we'll take one. 1:30 remaining before halftime, and it's 9-0. Winston-Salem trailing Virginia State.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette, personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh scent. A veritable olfactory medley. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
Are you over 30 and single?
Are you looking for love or companionship?
Call the new Romance Hotline and listen to recorded messages from exciting and sincere singles.
Dial 1-900-909-8000.
Call anytime, 24 hours, and hear recordings of single people looking for romance.
On the Romance Hotline.
For adults over 30 only, please.
Call 1-900-909-8000.
Happiness is just a phone call away.
And when you call, remember, it's your little secret.
Third down and 1. Winston-Salem with 1:25 remaining in the first half. First down, Winston-Salem.
That's a one. Let's go.
First and 10. They have one timeout remaining. Virginia State 2 here in the first half. Only been 2 turnovers in the ball game. Winston-Salem fumbled in the first quarter. Virginia State threw an interception in the second quarter.
Yeah, Elliott threw it by his pass.
And Mark Beverly could not hold on to the pass, the swing pass, as Brian Nunn had his hand up in the face of the quarterback, Keith James. There's Beverly on the sideline. There's one of the offensive coaches for Winston-Salem. Sending in a play. Roderick Graves coming in.
That's right, Coach Dale.
Clock stopped with the incompleted pass. Down to minute 3. To go to the air. Has some time. Throws incomplete. And there's the intended receiver, number 88, Bryant Smith. We've seen him use quite a few receivers in this ball game so far. Rodney Warren and Nettles were on either side of the intended receiver. Bring up a 3rd and 10. 57 seconds left in the half. Again, it's been out left for Keith James. Fumble, still in the air. Let's see who has it. Winston-Salem got lucky. They recovered it, but they're still about a yard shy of a first down.
Well, in a 4th-down situation, here's the quarterback, Keith James, scrambling. Looked like he's got the necessary yardage. Meets some opposition right here from number 93, linebacker Staples. Wide receiver almost came up with the ball, didn't get his number there, but finally 57. Horace Spencer, the center.
Clock continuing the run down to 25 seconds, and it's 4th and 2. Figured they may as well go for it with a 4th and 2 situation. It has to be a high percentage play, and they're not going to get it. With Roderick Graves carrying the ball, 12 seconds remaining. And they turn the ball over on downs. It's first down for Virginia State as Rodney Warren made the stop.
Along with Rodney Nettles. Teaming, here it is, ball being handed off to Roderick Graves. He meets a lot of opposition trying to get through the hole. Again, stop made by Rodney Warren along with Rodney Nettles. Orange shoes, number 59.
I believe we have a flag down, maybe face mask against Virginia State. They're explaining the options. So if there's a flag on the play, Winston-Salem will keep the ball.
Bernard Dillard was there listening at the options, the offensive team captain. Penalty does go against Virginia State.
So rather than them getting the ball back, a big penalty against them, and the ball is down at the 20. Face mask, as Charlie Bartlett lets us know. First and 10. At the 20-yard line for the Rams of Winston-Salem, and the clock running down to 9 seconds.
They don't have a lot of time. Need something thrown in the end zone.
Last play of the half. The clock down to 0. And as they go into the locker room, it's 9-0 Trojans of Virginia State. over the Rams of Winston-Salem in the CIAA championship game. And we'll be back with our halftime showtime. The Virginia State band, the Winston-Salem band, and the All-CIAA band.
The stereo sound system can be yours free from U.S. News and World Report. That's right, a free stereo. In a moment, you'll find out more.
Do you believe this stuff? Superman, he's 50. Who cares? I think if you're going to invest your time and money in a news magazine, you ought to be in a magazine that provides news you can use.
You'll get special issues throughout the year. Call now and you'll also get this exclusive stereo sound system absolutely free with twin dynamic speakers, an AM/FM selector for precision tuning, and an LCD quartz alarm clock. And it's yours free with your paid subscription. Call now and you'll also get great savings, over 60% off the cover price. You can even pay in 4 easy installments of just $5.99. A great magazine, special issues, great savings, and the stereo is yours free. All great reasons for you to call now. 1-800-233-5300.
When your stomach feels like this, you want this. And when your stomach feels like this, now you can choose this. Introducing new Maximum Strength Pepto-Bismol. Now there's twice the medicine, twice the Pepto. Ah.
Time of the CIAA championship game from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where the Rams of Winston-Salem trail the Trojans of Virginia State 9-0. Right now, the mighty Trojan Explosion, marching band from Virginia State University under the direction of Harold Houghton. On the field right now, drum major is Kurt Hampton. They're 81 strong. The dancers are called Essence of Troy, and their theme, sights and sounds from the entertainment world. Let's listen to the Virginia State mighty Trojan Explosion. championship game. And we'll be back with more halftime showdown and showtime in just a moment.
What's the hottest gift for men this year?
The minute I saw it, it was like, this is perfect for Steve. My brother's gonna freak when he sees I got it for him.
It's a hilarious video cassette. The very best of the football folly. 44 minutes of some of the all-time craziest football bloopers ever.
He can watch that kind of stuff over and over again. The bloopers, the fumbles, he really likes it.
And best of all, you get it free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Call their toll-free Christmas hotline now and get 55 issues of SI at a low Christmas sale price. Over 55% off the cover price.
Easiest Christmas shopping I've ever done.
Your gift includes exclusive previews and exciting issues, like a 25th anniversary swimsuit issue.
I'd love to get SI this Christmas, and I hope my girlfriend Kelly is watching. It's the perfect gift for any man.
There's even a card for under the tree, all for just 99 cents per issue. You won't be billed till next year, and get the videotape free. Call 1-800-621-3800.
You won't see this, will he? Oh, honey, Merry Christmas!
We're back here at halftime. The mighty Trojan Explosion doing their thing right now. That's the band director, Carl Houghton, doing the solo. Background vocals, Derek Hoggart, Horace Gordon, Roosevelt Harris, and Robert White. Wherever yours. Nothing is our score at halftime here at the CIAA championship game. The Trojans of Virginia State leading the Rams of Winston-Salem University. We'll be back with the Winston-Salem State University marching band, the Marching Rams, in just a moment. But let's listen to Henry Brown, Vice President, Anheuser-Busch.
Hello, I'm Henry H. Brown, Vice President, Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. On behalf of the entire Budweiser family, we once again bring greetings and congratulations to all of the supporters and participants on today's BET Game of the Week. Anheuser-Busch, BET, and our black colleges and universities have maintained a tradition of quality and of being the best. And as befits that tradition, we are proud to join in partnership in recognizing the MVP football player on each team in today's exciting game. For that honor, a scholarship contribution and an appropriate award will be presented in each player's name. Budweiser will continue to sponsor and bring this exciting game action into your home each week of the season. Because for all you do, this Bud's for you. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the game.
Right now we're enjoying halftime, Henry Brown, and it's the Marching Rams from Winston-Salem State University under the direction of Charles Bates, the drum majors Juan Eckert. They're 100 strong. Their dances are called Scarlet Lace, and the theme for today's show, it's all about love. Winston-Salem, the Marching Rams. Virginia after these messages with George Johnson. He's standing by with Toyota Sports Line. It's 9-0 Virginia State over Winston-Salem.
BET presents Black Olympic Memories, brought to you by the U.S. Army, the place to be all you can be.
The 1976 Olympics was the first to include women's rowing, and Anita DeFrance was the first and only black member of the women's national rowing team. East Germany took first, Russia second, but the Americans held on to capture the bronze.
You're reaching deep inside you, oh, things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Find your future in the Army.
This is Toyota Sports Line. There's quality, then there's Toyota quality. Who could ask for anything more?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our BET studios, where once again we bring you Toyota Sports Line Report. Halftime of the battle for the 1988 CIAA football title, and of course, Virginia State is ahead by the score of 9-0. Let's take a look at the highlight of this ball game. Anthony Hamilton's the man. He goes 35 yards before this play. Then he takes it in from 2 yards out. His 11th touchdown of the season. That gave Virginia State the lead at 6-0. They come back, kick a field goal. And right now, as we stand, the score is 9-0, Virginia State in the lead. The Rams of Winston-Salem State come into this game as the defending champions of the CIAA. This year, they are led by first-year coach Pete Richardson. Now, Richardson served as defensive coordinator and assistant coach for the Rams under Bill Hayes for 8 years. Prior to that, he spent 4 years with the Buffalo Bills. As the teams entered their 6th consecutive CIAA championship game, Richardson took time to assess his ball club.
We had a successful program for years, and we made some minor changes on offense by doing a lot of motion and changing formations to try to open up, to spread out the field, and I think that's the major change that we made on our football team. I think the biggest surprise I had was Kenny Jones that came on and played quarterback for us. You know, he hadn't had much experience, and once we won the first couple games, and the team started believing in him, and I think that's the biggest major surprise we had at this time. Well, I think basically, you know, as we went on through the year, you know, we went through a lot of trials and tribulations as far as organization, as far as coaches, and we had to build that kinship between the coaches and the players, and also it developed a little character, because we've been down in some football games, and we hung in there and found out that you have to play 4 full quarters of football in order to be successful in this level.
Head coach Pete Richardson, despite the fact that they're losing, they're still ranked 2nd in the Sheridan poll. Speaking of rankings, let's look at the Sheridan poll and how it shapes up in action this week. Now, Jackson State, they take over the #1 position this week following their 24th consecutive conference win last week over Texas Southern. Tonight, the Tigers will face non-conference foe Northwestern Louisiana. Now, both teams are looking to win their respective conferences. Jackson State also looking to avenge last season's loss to the Demons. Central State is the 3rd-ranked team in the Sheridan poll. They dropped 2 notches after last week's loss to Northern Michigan. Today, it's Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're beating them in the first quarter. The score is 7-0. Next week, Central State takes on Florida A&M, who are ranked 4th in the Sheridan poll. This week, they're idle after that big win over Howard last week. They've now won 5 straight. The regular season is over for the Bowie State Bulldogs. They were supposed to play UDC today, but the Firebirds forfeited because of an abundance of injuries. However, Bowie State had hoped a big win would have helped their chances in terms of getting a bid to the Division II playoffs in the Eastern region, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Another team looking for a Division II bid is North Carolina Central. They finished the season 8-1-1, 2nd in the Southern Division of the CIAA. They are ranked 6th this week. The Rams of Albany State have secured the 1988 SIAC championship, but the 7th-ranked Rams right now are playing Savannah State, losing 14-7. They're at halftime. Savannah's not eligible for the SIAC title, but their 5-1 conference record is more than respectable. On Thursday, the Tigers of Grambling State rolled to a big win over the Bulldogs of South Carolina State by the score of 45-16. Now, that win gave the Bulldogs their 4th straight. Head coach Eddie Robinson had to be happy with the road win. His team jumps out early. Quarterback Clement Gordon back in the pocket, goes deep, finds Fred Jones streaking down the sidelines. That was a 46-yard touchdown, made it 7-0. We move to the third quarter, where Grambling's winning 17-6. Nate Singleton is back to return the punt. He makes his initial move right here. Once he gets by the initial wall, he's off and running. That's why he's the #1 return man in the SWAC, as he goes 85 yards for the touchdown. It made it 24-6 Grambling at this point. The Bulldogs would get on the board, though. Fullback William DeBose takes this handoff, goes 14 yards for the touchdown. DeBose dancing with 133 yards on 15 carries, but Grambling wins it by the score of 45-16 and avenges a loss of last season to South Carolina State. 9th-ranked Howard now is looking for its 5th straight win over Morgan State. Today, they are playing Morgan, and the Bison are winning big at this point. As we look at the highlights very quickly, and you'll see why the Bison make the big plays, as here's a punt return that Clint Ramsey will take. He's going to make his move to the outside. The wall is there. As you see him make his move, cutting back to the inside, he will not get touched by a bear until he gets to the end zone, as he goes 68 yards for the punt return, and that made the score 29-7, and at this point the score is 35-7 there in the third quarter. Howard winning that one. And our last score, well, no score, in fact. The regular season is over for Virginia Union. They too are waiting anxiously for the Division II playoff selections to come out. We'll be back with more right after this.
Meet your next truck. The truck for 89. The all-new Toyota V6 4x4 SR5. The most advanced V6 engine in its class. All-new on-the-move four-wheel demand. And a brand-new look that says Toyota quality.
It's everything I ever wanted.
Toyota! You could ask for anything more.
Okay, welcome back to our Toyota Sportsline Report. Couple other scores I want to give you very quickly. Alcorn State is beating Prairie View A&M 7-0 in the first. Alcorn State is 14th in the Sheridan poll. Alabama State is getting by Mississippi Valley State 10-0. They're in the second. It's Western Illinois 15, Delaware State 13. They're in the fourth. Bethune-Cookman is beating Morris Brown 14-13. They're at halftime. Alabama A&M is beating Tuskegee 13-3. They're at half. Tuskegee homecoming in that one. Morehouse is beating Clark Atlanta 21-14. Fort Valley State is beating Kentucky State 21-0 at half. Fort Valley's running back, Curtis Bell, came into that ball game 78 yards shy of 1,000. He has 69 at half, 8 shy of getting 1,000 yards for the season for Bell. Arkansas Monticello right now is ranked 6th in the NAIA. They are tied with the Knoxville team there in the first quarter. It is West Virginia State 20, Catawba College 19 there at half, and Northeast Missouri is beating Lincoln by the score of 14-3. They are also in the first quarter. Well, that's how things stand here on our Toyota Sportsline Report. We'll come back with the second half action right after this.
This has been Toyota Sportsline. There's quality, then there's Toyota quality. Who could ask for anything more?
Love is in the air on the next Charlie and Company.
Mom, Dad, there will never be another man in my life. I'm in love.
And guess who the lucky man is?
That was Lauren on the phone.
What she want?
She wants me to go to a school dance, and she wants to be the mother of my children.
Can Charlie handle it? Find out on the next Charlie and Company at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Rally, darling, I must play cards and I shall paint all over the calla lilies. Rally, I shall.
On the next rollout, will Jed get over Sweet's unholy ways, or is leaving the only solution?
Hey, home, you found a better war somewhere?
Is it that bad?
That's worse.
But the worst part is getting a new roommate. Don't miss the laughs on the next rollout at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
I love that big laugh.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And the Trojans of Virginia State are leading at halftime in the CIAA championship game by a score of 9-0. Charlie Neal and Lynn Barney here with you. Let's take a look at our Toyota halftime stats. First downs, 10-5 in favor of the Trojans. Total net yards, I think, are the most important thing right here, Lem, as you look at the 139-80 for the Virginia State Trojans.
That's somewhat of a whitewash offensively, and the Virginia State offense has been a bit more productive than that of Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem haven't been able to get on track offensively, and that's due to parts of that outstanding defense that's been stymieing them by Virginia State University.
Now the Trojans have only passed for 7 yards. The Rams only 27, 2 of 5 for 7 yards for Virginia State, 4 of 9 for the Rams in the passing department. You look at the penalties, 7 for Virginia State, 4 for Winston-Salem in the ball game so far. While the time of possession, at one time, Virginia State had a great edge in that department. Now they lead by almost 3 minutes. They've had the ball about 3 minutes longer than the Rams at Winston-Salem State University. Well, the two teams are back on the field and getting ready for the second half of action. Halftime has been brought to you by Toyota Quality. Who could ask for anything more? Toyota. And putting the ball on the tee for the Rams of Winston-Salem, North Carolina is Dino Bellangranis, first team all-conference this year out of Charlotte, North Carolina, a sophomore. He hasn't even had a chance to kick any field goals, but he's ranked at the top of the conference in field goal accuracy. The second half kickoff is being brought to you by today's Sure. Be just as sure about odor as you are about wetness. The deep men, Gary Martin, number 37, on the near side. Also back there is Robert Barnes, number 31. 30 minutes of football left here. The CIAA championship. Barnes at the 10, 15, off the 20 to the 25-yard line. Robert Barnes on the return. And it was Cornell Wallace on the stop. Small guy. He gets in there. People don't even see him, do they?
He hides behind a few of those giants, and as you mentioned, he's got 5 interceptions to get a chance to see the individual leaders thus far in this ball game.
Hamilton, the leading rusher from Virginia State with 58 yards. Receiving, Martin only 1. Elliott 5 of 7. Anderson has punted twice for 63. From their own 25-yard line, Virginia State will go to work first down and 10. Not much happening running-wise for Barnes. They just ran right over. What was that, Cooper? That was Cooper on the carry. They just ran right over Walter Florence, the right guard, and went into the backfield, and they lost about 3 yards.
Certainly did. The play was spearheaded by number 43, the captain, Les Farley, number 43. Came into the ball game, third overall in the conference in tackle.
As we look at the leaders in the first half of Winston-Salem, the leading rusher for them is Graves. Here's Elliott. Wants to pitch it. He won't get it away. Jeff Kelly on the stop. You have to remember now, even though Winston-Salem is trailing 9-0, they were trailing 14-0 to Bowie State a week ago with 6 minutes left in the ball game and came back and won at 16-14. That's why they're in this championship game.
Well, Charlie, they're an opportunistic type of a ball club. They haven't had a chance to get anything going early on in the first half. Somewhat stymied, stayed off the scoreboard. Didn't even have a chance, as you mentioned, for a field goal attempt. And that was doing part of the outstanding defense that was facing them by Virginia State University.
Hamilton, the lone setback behind Elliott. Elliott wants to go to the right and roll and pass. Sets up, trying to. Does throw it, has it complete to Barnes, and he is out of bounds. And it's this fourth down. Punting situation. Wilton Anderson looks like a different team so far on the first series here in the second half.
Defensively from Winston-Salem State University, they put up a much stiffer defense than they did in the first half. For their first 4 downs and outs.
Don't forget, next week, Lem and I will travel back to Tallahassee, Florida. Big matchup between Central State, the Marauders, and the Rattlers of Florida A&M. 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on BET Live. Check that out. Here's Wilton Anderson back to punt. It was partially tipped. Even though they hit the kicker, Cornell Wallace got a piece of it, and there was no roughing, no flag, and a poor punt.
Very poor punt.
So the ball is going to be spotted at about the 27-yard line.
Deep inside of Ram territory. Here's the snap. The ball was either partially deflected by 19, Cornell Wallace.
That would be his 6th block of the year, if you want to call it a block. And they try to run it off the left side. Shepard on the stop. After a 1-yard gain. It is second down. 9. Starting at the Virginia State 28. Here's Graves. Graves picked up a couple. Inside the 15 to about the 18-yard line. We're going to bring up a 3rd down situation in about 5. Here's Rudy Elliott on the sideline talking things over with Coach George Moody.
Offensive brain trust there. Virginia State University leading this ball game 9-0.
As we look at Broderick Graves, what he's done in the game so far. James wants to pass. Throws. Pass it complete. It's Graves inside the 5. Touchdown. Broderick Graves, his 16th touchdown this year.
Get a chance to watch it again. A fine throw and catch combination from Kenny Jones to Broderick Graves. Good blocking at the point of attack. Broken tackle, missed tackle by Shepard and Good as he bounces into the end zone.
And the extra point by Belagrinis is good. So far this year, he is 35 of 38 in PATs. 9-7 is our score.
Odious, contemptible, deplorable. I'm speaking of offending in the personal grooming arena. Something I would, of course, consider quite beyond the pale. So I give you Right Guard Sports Stick, antiperspirant and deodorant. When one needs to seek maximum protection and a fresh scent, one should grab oneself one of these Right Guard Sports Sticks, because one would hate to be considered malodorous by one's chums. Now, wouldn't one? Right Guard Sports Sticks from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Miss Lee, press on nails for team. Smaller size, which means Miss Lee press on nails. Color. Wow. Instant. Oh yeah. Just peachy. Cheese. Bubble gum. Awesome. Fresh grapes. Neat.
Now it's Miss Lee press-on nails, made for smaller hands. Easy to put on as regular Lee press-on nails and with 4 extra nails. 24 in all for a more perfectly beautiful fit.
Fun at your fingertips. Miss Lee press on nails. Press on.
Lem, one thing about this Keith Jones, I just want to bring up this point, is he hasn't thrown a lot of passes this year. This is only his 2nd touchdown thrown as a passer, but he has not thrown any interceptions either.
Tell you what, he's got a good throwing completion, and again, this 23-yard scoring strike from Jones to Graves, culminating off a bad punt.
And the crowd comes to life here as Belagrinis has it on the tee. Ready to kick it off.
Bad punt by Virginia State set up that 23-yard scoring strike by Winston-Salem.
Barnes from the 10, trying to get to the corner. And knocked down at the 25, a flag goes down. second possession for Virginia State, second half.
Carnell Wallace, number 19, who's been a nemesis all day, was in on the tackle.
And it's a clipping penalty against Virginia State. Charlie Bartlett lets us know that. We're in the third quarter. 9-7 is our score. Winston-Salem just getting on the board. They came out with some tenacious defense to start the second half.
Here's the clip. We'll get a chance to see who the guilty culprit was. Running back Barnes. There's
a clip there on Wallace.
Yeah.
Well, the ball is spotted all the way back inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, where Virginia State will go to work. First down and 10.
See if Winston-Salem can continue with that ominous defense. They played the first series of the first half.
And they give off to Hamilton. And Hamilton has a first down out to the 25-yard line. They spotted at the 26.
Hamilton, who scored the very first touchdown on a
1-yard run.
1-yard run. Here he is getting the ball again. Second series for Virginia State in the second half. A bit more productive early going than it was the first series.
Cooper is on one wing to the right. Barnes on the wing to the left. Cooper in motion. And the quarterback, Elliott, looked back at Cooper. Had nobody to pitch it to and stumbled for about 4 yards. Cooper was trailing a little bit too far. Barley, you're looking at number 21 also per year, who has an interception in the ball game. We're in the third quarter with under 11 minutes to go. It is second down, 6. Just shy of the 30. Virginia State. Guys running the lights here. Cooper saying, make that Elliott saying he can't hear.
Needs a band for Winston-Salem to sort of shush his Sullivans down. First time they've had something to yell about all afternoon.
They're yelling. Gets into it.
12th man.
Here's Hamilton. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide as Anthony McCord, first team all-conference cornerback, came up to make the stop. Sophomore out of Anderson, South Carolina. Third down.
Tell you what, that's the way the coach draws it up on the blackboard. You can see number 5 here. McCord comes up. Good open field tackle. Face to face. Murder at the 30.
There's McCord.
Feisty little guy.
Trying to set it up. I'll tell you who read it well was Jeff Kelly. He wasn't sold on the screen. Number 67, Les Barley made the stop. Jeff Kelly, the initial hit. That was Robert Timmons, number 68, you saw coming off.
2 fine series of defense deployed by the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. Ball have to be punted away again. 4th down at about 12.
They've come close to cleanly blocking a couple. They did the last time out. High snap. Rough.
Another rough by guess who? Guess who? Carnell Wallace, number 19.
Third time today that Winston has been flagged for roughing the kicker.
Great effort, but what he has to do, he has to leave his feet and go where that ball is being punted, not right into the punter. So he's going right into the punter. He has to go at least about a yard in front of his foot, where the trajectory in which the ball will leave his foot on its way to flight in air. Tough, I tell you, he's a little man that's got quite a few blocks, as you mentioned, this year.
5 coming into the game, and Lim, if you remember, The first two times that these roughing the kicker penalties were assessed against Winston-Salem, Virginia State went on and scored. So they keep the drive alive with a first down and 10. The ball will be spotted outside the 40 to the 44-yard line. And it'll be Virginia State first down and 10.
Well, all this does is call upon the defense again to once again stop them. They played two outstanding defensive series early going here in the third quarter.
Virginia State with a first and 10. Facing a very potent Ram defense right now. Barnes goes in motion, the counter play back inside. And bouncing outside is Curtis Cooper. And Cooper is run out of bounds in front of his own bench. Clifton Cooper, rather. Run out of bounds in front of his own bench.
Good defense at the point of attack. And watch chance McCoy again. But just a fine individual effort. Here's McCoy up in a bump and run situation. He reads the run. Now he goes back to support.
And he runs him out.
Fine job by McCoy. Brings up a second down and about 7.
5'8", 170. A lot of heart. Straight ahead. And again, Jeff Kelly disrupted the running attack on that play.
Number 67 again, left defensive tackle in the backfield, stymieing things, won't let things develop there. Good again, good individual effort by the running back, number 22, Anthony Hamilton.
There's Elliott looking over to the sideline, first team all-conference this year. He threw 8 touchdown passes, ran for 6 this season. 8th leading rusher in the conference as a quarterback. There to throw it to. Picks up the first down and runs out of bounds on the far sideline. Inside the 45 to the 42-yard line goes Rudy Elliott.
You can see here, Charlie, why he leads the conference in rushing. Play pass action. He wants somebody. Good coverage downfield. Good lively legs. Good-footed runner.
Well, he's not the leading rusher in the conference, but for quarterbacks he probably is. He also is a 400-meter man in track. Runs about a 47.
It's quick enough.
Rudy Elliott
keeps the drive alive with the first down run.
Under 8 minutes to go, third quarter. 9-7 our score. Flag, maybe delay. Delay of game against Virginia State.
Number 8 particularly, Rudy Elliott.
Five-yard penalty. There's Virginia State, 4th in the conference total offense, 330 yards per game. Virginia State, meanwhile, defensively, was ranked number 1 in total defense, giving up only 260 yards a game.
First and 15 now. Ball's placed back at the 43-yard line.
Virginia State with the ball now. First and 10. Elliott on the naked side left, being chased. Out of bounds by Anthony McCord and Rudell Wilson, both giving chase. 5 and 46 respectively. Watch him.
See McCord backpedaling. He sees him past the line of scrimmage. Now he can commit. Can't commit until he sees the quarterback past the line of scrimmage.
Winston-Salem placed 5 defensive players on the all-CIAA team. Jeff Kelly, Roy Phillips, Les Barley, Anthony McCord,
McNeil,
and of course, the field goal kicker.
Fumble. He's going to call it a sack.
Willie Jones, his 7th sack of the year. The sophomore from Spartanburg, South Carolina, considered one of the best athletes on the team.
He's playing the position of tackle today.
Number 58.
Relentless pass rush here. See him in on the blitz. There he is. Didn't allow Elliott a chance to even set up the throw. Looked like it was an intended screen. Loss of about 16 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 31. A lot of real estate.
This Winston-Salem team is going to be good, though. They only lose 4 seniors off of the squad off the defense. Elliott. A lot of time. Wide open man there. Barnes, he has it. First down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Tell you what, is a fine execution of a throw here. He's got 2 men deep. One goes into the post. 31. Barnes, Robert Barnes stays down the left sideline, and he catches it between Cornell Wallace and McCoy. Looked like Darrell Hall was saying, looked like he should have been over Cornell.
The chances of that being third down efficiency is very limited as Barnes again carries, and Barnes fumbles, and Winston-Salem has it at the 15. Turn around. I was going to say, a 3rd and 31, you pick up 37 yards, but then you turn the ball over on the next play.
It's a heck of a way to check and balance, isn't it?
It certainly is. They marched from their own 14, helped by a roughing the kicker penalty, and a big 37-yard third down pass play.
Misdirections again to Robert Barnes. Gained about 8 yards on the play. A lot of helmets there into the midsection. Coming away with his 2nd turnover for the day is Roy Perrier on the fumble recovery.
There's an injured player down for the Trojans of Virginia State. Like one of the linemen that's down there. Maybe Staples. National Staples, that's who it is. The senior from Fieldale, Virginia, who has 20 sacks coming into the game, and they can't afford to lose them. They're very thin in depth anyhow. 6:04 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a 2-point lead for the Trojans of Virginia State.
Does it seem like a century since you've had a credit card? Well, you don't have to wait another minute. You can get a Century Visa or MasterCard now. Call this toll-free number, 1-800-382-2200. It's that simple. If you have no credit, bad credit, lousy credit, don't worry. A Visa or MasterCard can be yours. Call 1-800-382-2200. With Century's Visa or MasterCard, you can cash checks with ease and get cash advances at over 4 million locations in the U.S. and around the world. Wouldn't it be great to have a major credit card again? You can. Call toll-free 1-800-382-2200 and get your Visa or MasterCard now. Cards issued by Bertha National Bank, Bertha, Colorado, member FDIC. Even if you've declared bankruptcy or have been rejected before, a Visa or MasterCard is waiting for you. Call toll-free 1-800-382-2200. It's quick. It's simple. 9 out of 10 people are approved without any problem whatsoever. Call 1-800-382-2200 and get your Century Visa or MasterCard now.
Charlie Neal, Lem Barney here, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 6:04 left. 3rd quarter, the Sheridan poll. This is the way it looks right now. It is Winston-Salem Rams, ranked number 2. Jackson State moved on top. Central State dropped out of the 1st spot since September 26th. Dropped down to 3rd. Followed by Florida A&M. And there you see the rest of the group. North Carolina Central, Albany State, Grambling, Howard, and Virginia Union round out the top 10 of this latest Sheridan poll. It is 2nd down. 7 for Winston-Salem. Keith James wants to keep it. He has some room. 25, 1st down, 30, and falls down at the 34-yard line. He's safe. He slid in to the 34. So far, let's look at how the scoring went. Virginia State got all of its points in the 1st quarter on a Hamilton 1-yard run, and Okonkwo, well, actually that second score, that Okonkwo field goal, came on the 1st play of the 2nd quarter. That made it 9-0. And then Winston-Salem scored in the 3rd quarter here. One of Jean's 23-yard pass to Roderick Graves. And here's Graves with the ball. But not much running room as William Howell, the junior, out of Lake Wales, Florida, along with Brian Nunn, made the stop. Also in there, Rodney Warren. You know he's going to be somewhere near the ball.
Tell you what, we've called his name almost every day, all day on every tackle. Played a whale of a ball game.
The time left, third quarter. The score. James. Complete. Far sideline. To James. Dwayne James on the reception.
James just threw a very important block for Kenny Jones on the scramble. Now he's the recipient of one of his passes. As you mentioned, he doesn't throw that often, Charlie, but when he does, he's pretty accurate. Here it is, right on the money to Dwayne James for first down yardage.
I watched him practice on Thursday, and I was very impressed with the quickness in which he gets the ball there. As you look at Dwayne James.
We may see a new quarterback. Well, this is his senior year. Kenneth Jones, this is his senior year.
Kenny Jones is a sophomore. Keith James is a senior. Kenny Jones started the game, but he gave way to Keith James, and Keith James has him on the move right now. Second down, 8 yards to go after the gain of 2 by Broderick Graves. He tied the CIAA record with touchdowns this year. That was held by Timmy Newsom, a former graduate of Winston-Salem, who played on the Dallas Cowboys. James again. Has a man there. Complete pin. Big pin at the 20. Big Pin may be the best receiver in the conference. 31 yards on the reception. He's a redshirt freshman from Tarboro, North Carolina. Yancey Big Pin, his 9th reception of the year. He's averaging almost 15 yards every time he catches it.
Keith James is heating up, Charles, as he sets back in a well-formed, protected pocket. Threw a fine over-the-head spiral to Thick Pin for first down yardage. Ball's at the 20-yard line of Virginia State University.
First and 10. Back to live action. And a new running back in the ball game for Winston-Salem. Was that Richard Daniels, 27 on the carry? The wingback, Richard Daniels, Jr. from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He has not caught a pass this year, but this is his 3rd rush for the season.
Probably got bathtub hands, that's why.
I'll tell you, talking about Yancey Thigpen, they said he's got the best hands. I'm talking to one of the coaches. He said of any receiver he's ever coached, including Charlie Brown, and he coached Brown out of South Carolina State. Again, Graves on the carry, and Winston-Salem feeling their oats right now. Starting to come back after trailing 9-0. Anthony Burfoot on the stop defensively.
Looked like a pretty good run here. Got a blocker out front of him. Finally coming up from his right cornerback position is Burfoot to make the stop. Drove him out of bounds. At the gain of a few yards, it'll bring up a 3rd down along 2. Inside the 20. Mark at the 12-yard line.
3:16 remaining. 3rd quarter. Graves, shy of the 10. Down at the 11. A yard shy to bring up a 4th down situation. Again, Rodney Warren with the helmet in there, along with Michael Sanders, number 58. There's the stats on Graves in this game. He came into the game averaging 105 yards a game. So they're going to go for the field goal, and Belagrinis, who is 15 of 20 in field goals as long as a 47-yarder this year, will attempt this one from the 18 or 17. It'll be a 27-yard attempt. He is 75% in field goal accuracy, 5th in the NCAA in that position. And it is good. And the Rams take the lead for the first time today. 10-9. But there's a flag down. Believe it, it's going to be against Virginia State. Offsides. Count it.
That could be a first down. They might take the first down yardage and continue the drive.
They might. Let's see what they
about
say.
1. Referee wants to confer with the captain. Captain coming back out now. Keith James. Charlie?
You're right, Lem. It's a situation where it's short yardage. They only had a yard to go. Now Belagrinis, he won't be happy with the decision because he kicked it through. But it'll be a first down with the offsides penalty, and it'll give him a first down. I would decline it if I was the coach.
I would too. You got 3 more downs to get the touchdown. If not,
oh, they did decline it.
Okay.
No, they decided to. Like I said, I would have taken the penalty, but they declined it. So Pellegrini's field goal stands. We'll be back. It's 10-9, and Winston-Salem takes their first lead of the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got a leak here, somewhere in the wall. I just hope I can get to it before it gets too bad.
At times like this, now you can choose this. New Maximum Strength Pepto-Bismol. Now there's twice the medicine, twice the Pepto. Ah.
Miss Lee, press-on nails for teens. Miss Lee press-on nails for smaller hands. Easy to put on as regular Lee press-on nails with 4 extra nails. 24 in all for a more perfectly beautiful fit.
Fun at your fingertips. Miss Lee press-on nails.
Introducing Lee Sculptured Nails. Long-lasting like salon nails, but affordable because you do them at home. Just glue, brush, shape. If you can polish your nails, you can enjoy Lee Sculptured Nails like nothing you've ever used before.
Here's Pellegrinis out of the hole of Keith James. He kicks it through. First team all-conference field goal kicker, sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He was injured in the 3rd game of a year ago and missed the rest of the season out with a knee injury, but he's come back to kick very strong. Right now, 16 of 21 in field goals so far as you look at the scoring drive. Here's Pellegrinis to pick it off. Barnes is the beat man. It'll come down to him at the 6-yard line. The 20 to 21. Flag. Flip. The last time Virginia State had the ball, they fumbled it.
Well, they've been stymied the last few times of possession.
Although they moved the ball all the way down to the Winston-Salem 15 before they fumbled it. But this penalty is going against the Trojans. It'll be a clipping penalty on the run back, and it occurred right at the end of the play.
It was a long pass from the quarterback to Barnes that set up the ball being on the 15-yard line, enabling him to fumble it. A breakdown of communication between McCord, the right cornerback, and the left cornerback, number 19, Cornell Wallace. But again, they start off deep in their own territory at the 10-yard line.
First down and 10. Virginia State trailing by 1. Hamilton struggles for a couple.
What's been the key to this second half outburst by Winston-Salem State University has been the great play of their defense, Charlie. They just stymied the offense of Virginia State University.
Virginia State came into the game as the 2nd leading running team in the conference. 4th overall in total offense, while Winston-Salem was the 2nd best team against the run in the conference. Of course, Virginia State led in that department. And number 1 in total defense. And they're showing right now why they were ranked number 1 in total defense.
They may get a delay of game here if the ball doesn't hurry up and snap.
They just got it off. Elliott rolls right, looks, throws. Almost caught by Harrison. The big tight end was out there, the 300-pounder. And maybe he'd have caught it if Harrison hadn't touched it.
Tell you what, it was 2 men in the same territory, same area. That's a bad omen for pass receivers. As you mentioned, Harris, along with the big fellow, James Brown, get a chance to see it again. Brown just slips right across center, as you can see him there. Harris somewhere came out of the backfield, tipped the ball would have been caught. Harrison, ball would have been caught by James Brown, again, off the fingertips of Harrison.
And I know nobody's looking for Big Harrison to catch the ball. He hasn't caught a pass all year at 310 pounds. He's used basically for blocking. It looked like they may have been going to him that time. Pull out all the stops. Here's Barnes with some blocking, but it broke down quickly as he manages only to get to about the 18-yard line before Ray Puryear made the stop. It'll be 4th down. I'll tell you, the punt has become the most exciting play in this game so far, especially when Virginia State is punting.
Well, they have an opportunity now.
There's the time left, 3rd quarter. Wilton Anderson, who's been victimized 3 times with roughing the kicker penalty, is back to do it away.
Let's put an isolation camera now on Cornell Wallace. I know he'll be going for it. He's blocked 5 already this year.
Including one in this game.
Well, he stayed this time.
Just what we're looking for. I guess they figured no more roughing penalties. That ball came very close to touching a Ram player, but it was down. That was Cornell Wallace. The 27-yard punt, though, not a good one. And the ball is down at the 45-yard line. So that's where Winston-Salem will go to work at their own 45. They've scored every time they've had it here in the second half. Next week, Lem and I travel down to Tallahassee, Florida to see those Marauders under Billy Joe of Central State, ranked number 3 this week in the Sheridan poll after their loss a week ago to Northern Michigan. They'll be taking on the Rattlers of Florida A&M. It'll be a good one. Join us. 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on BET. Here's Keith James throwing long. The tight end is out there, flag. He couldn't get it out of his pocket. Bobby Shepard was defending. They were trying to hit Harry Giles out there, number 86, the senior tight end from Suffolk, Virginia. Maybe offensive pass interference.
An inadvertent bump.
No, it isn't.
It's an inadvertent bump. Here's the 2 receivers. You wonder how did the official see it? He just got a glimpse on it.
He was looking over his left shoulder.
Yes, he was.
And it's a penalty and a first down at the 30-yard line. Winston-Salem, there's the penalty situation. Virginia State, they came into the game averaging 6 penalties on 51 yards per contest, and they're way over that mark right now. Rodney McCoy, freshman out of Winston-Salem on the carry, straight ahead. And he picks up about 5. Make it 6, second down and 4. 20 seconds left, third quarter. Keith James in his swan song. Maybe that's why coach is playing him. His senior. Could be his last game, depending on whether they get a NCAA bid. This should be the last play of the third quarter, if they get it all. They're shifting around, they may not. They won't. That is the end of the third quarter. So before the play is run, it'll be a second down and 4 when we come back. 15 minutes of football left. Remember, we cannot have a tie. It will go overtime if they tie. We'll be back.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette. Personal hygiene. How will you separate yourselves from those barbaric hordes that exude a most malodorous air? Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Maximum protection and a fresh scent. A veritable olfactory medley. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Raise your glasses, gentlemen, to civilization.
Are you over 30 and single?
Are you looking for love or companionship?
Call the new Romance Hotline and listen to recorded messages from exciting and sincere singles.
Dial 1-900-909-8000.
Call anytime, 24 hours, and hear recordings of single people looking for romance.
On the Romance Hotline.
For adults over 30 only, please.
Call 1-900-909-8000.
Happiness is just a phone call away.
And when you call, remember, it's your little secret.
How can you not fall in love with something that looks so good? My Celica still gets my blood pumping.
The 1989 Toyota Celica GTS. Looks to seduce you. Powerful 135 horsepower engine to thrill you. No matter what you do for a living.
No matter how you drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Detergent Gasoline. It can unclog fuel injectors and give your car a new injection of power. Drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded. High octane with a plus. The Mobile Plus card. It's more than just a credit card. It saves you money and a lot more.
15 minutes of football remaining here at the CIAA championship. It's a 10-9 ball game, and we go back to the first touchdown scored by Virginia State when Okonkwo had his extra point block. And that can loom as a big play right now for the Virginia State Trojans. They trail by 1. Winston-Salem with the ball on its grave straight ahead, trying to get the first down. That was a 2nd and 4 play. It is now 3rd and about 1. Rodney Warren on the stop for Virginia State. Here's the rushing for Winston-Salem so far today. This is what they did coming into the ball game. 246 yards per game rushing. 22 touchdowns on the ground. That's a lot. They had 3 all-offensive linemen make the first team all-CIAA. It is motion. A flag is being thrown as Keith James runs out of bounds. And over on the track, and people are sliding on that track, trying to keep from running into the concrete barrier. They need them. The big number 93, Master Staples, who was back in the ball game, we're happy to say, after he went down with an injury earlier.
He did. That should bring up about 3rd down and 6. Running back started toward the line of scrimmage prior to the ball being snapped. Procedure.
So instead of a 3rd and 1, it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Rams of Winston-Salem. The ball spotted at the 26-yard line. We're in the 4th and final quarter, pending overtime. And if it gets to that point, we'll tell you about it. If it doesn't, we'll forget it. 14-16 is the time remaining. Keith James looking to pass. Sets up, throws into the end zone. Tipped away at the last moment by Bobby Shepard. But another flag is down. Bobby Shepard tipped away the pass intended for Broderick Graves. Shepard, a first-team all-conference player, senior, out of Haines City, Florida.
This may go against Winston-Salem State University, this penalty. Pressure being applied here on Keith James. Finally, he escapes one would-be tackler. Airs one into the end zone, intended for Broderick Graves, but again, deflected by Shepard.
And the penalty was ineligible man downfield. It is declined. It'll bring up a 4th down. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 6. A lot of confidence. So is Belagrenis on? Yes, he is. Belagrenis is on to attempt a 42-yard field goal. He is hit from 47 this year.
He's so hyped up, he was the first man on.
I didn't see him. Come on.
Good snap. Good hold.
It may not make it. Yep. No good. The officials waited so long.
So they spiked you out, didn't they?
They sure did. I didn't think it was long enough. It looked like it fell short. They looked at each other. Well, be sure. If you're going to be sure, right? You're going to make the call. Let's make it right. So the 42-yard field goal falls short. Well, that's the first time that Winston-Salem has not scored here in the second half. Now Virginia State with the ball at their own 26-yard line. 1st and 10. Coming to the near side is Barnes. Bounces outside. And they grab a hold of the jersey, and that's the only thing that helped them. Darrell Hall, and they get the first down. Darrell Hall was hanging on for dear life, number 31.
Barnes certainly put it in overdrive as he turned around the corner here. Left side defensively, right side offensively. Good blocker there. Florence. Walter Florence out front with a fine block, enabling him to gain the necessary yardage for the first down. Ball just shy of the 40-yard line, mark at the 39, 1st and 10.
With 13:24 left in the contest. Here's Barnes again, and he dives for 5 to about the 43. Charlie Neal and Lem Barney here as Dave Graves makes the tackle defensively for the Rams, along with Darrell Hall. It is 2nd down and 5. The ball at the 43-yard line. Virginia State scored its least amount of points in the second half this year. They were a first half team and it proved that so far today. Almost a holding penalty, but they didn't call it. And he has to complete to Hamilton, first down at the 43. The referee almost called holding in the backfield, but he felt it wasn't. He came close to pulling his flag out.
Well, there's a flag down on the left sideline.
But it's an eligible man downfield. That's what happened.
See Elliott pull up here, change his body position, softly touches one across the field to number 22, Hamilton.
I'll tell you why the penalty, Lim, because when he got that far as penetration is concerned as a quarterback, the lineman felt maybe he was going to run it. So one of them took off, and then he pulled up, seeing Hamilton wide open.
Ineligible receiver, downfield.
So it'll bring it back. And it'll be second down and 9 at the 39. Rudy Elliott, fourth leading passer in the CIAA, ranked also number 4 in total offense.